Welcome back to Blender for Blogs, where we are editing videos for our blogs or our projects or whatever using Blender's video sequence editor. My name is Justin, and you can find me at blenderfrenzy.com or blenderfrenzy on YouTube. But we've got a lot to cover in this video, so I'm going to get right at it. So this is where we left off. We did our little video shrink last time. And so if we go over here to our markings, we can see that right after our shrink is our screencast. And so where I want to do like a Google Slides and all of that stuff, actually, if we just listen here, what do I say?
Computer step by step. So for this, you'll learn how to record your computer screen and then add it into Blender. And this is really handy for things like PowerPoint presentations, Google searches, or making all kinds of tutorials for your favorite software programs.
So we've got a screencast here. We've got a screencast here. Which is where we import some audio, and then we got a screencast over here where we are doing some editing, video editing, so cut and paste and all of that good stuff here. So there's three parts that we want to get to, but first I want to take you over to the website where I used to download what is called OBS Studio, or Open Broadcaster Software Studio. This is an absolutely amazing program. I love it to death. It's so cool, and it's open source. So that means it's free and open source right here. Boom. And it is so powerful. I highly recommend using this one if you can. You can record your video, your screen with it, your audio. You can do streaming, live streaming, stuff like that for games if you're a gamer. Or for anything else, live streaming it works. I actually haven't done the streaming myself, but it is possible. So go here and download your choice of operating system for it, and that's how you can get started. I have already downloaded it, so I am just going to go right into it. And in fact, I have it open already because I am recording this very tutorial for you using OBS Studio. Okay, so when you get it, it's going to look something like this. Actually, what I'm going to do is reset UI. Here we go. Yeah, so it's going to look something like this. Basically, you're going to have your default audio inputs here. So right now I have desktop audio and mic aux or auxiliary. I never know how to pronounce that. But this is obviously, you can see when I'm talking, this is my microphone. And depending on your computer settings, it's what's going to show up here by default. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change this default to my own inputs here, my own sources. Now I've already added a source here. And by the way, I'm on demo right now just to show you guys, but yours will probably just say scene, and that will probably be the only scene that you have. By the way, I'm not going to be going over like the whole OBS Studio. This is not an in-depth tutorial about this. I'm just going to show you the settings that I use, so you can copy them if you want or kind of get ideas. But there are plenty of tutorials out there for OBS Studio, so go check those out if you need more information. Okay, so see, I'm already recording here, so I'm not going to. Hopefully, don't press that. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to settings. Now I can either go to file, settings up here, or just click down here where it says settings, open this up. And I'm going to move this over just a little bit and move this over. Oh, actually, okay, let's move this over just a little bit here. And let's minimize Blender too, and minimize that. That's for later. Okay, so kind of move this in, and now settings, and we're going to bring this over here so we can kind of see what's going on. These two inputs here are the audio, of course, and so we want to go to our audio. And you can see desktop audio here, right here, device, default, and there's two of them. So we have default here, and then this one is disabled. And then we have our mic, which is default here, and then I have two more mic inputs here, which are both disabled. Now, I don't know if this is computer specific. It may be, because this may be the default device that I'm using right now, which is my headset mic. But then we also have probably my laptop and maybe my webcam. But course, my webcam is the same thing as my laptop. So I don't know. Maybe this is just a standard thing. Actually, you know what? Before I do this, because if I start disabling this now, you're not going to hear me. But just to show you the desktop audio, if we bring Blender back up and
Learn
start
the
playing
best
that,
techniques for quickly editing video and
you can
audio
see,
strips
you
in
can
Blender,
hear
cutting them,
me
moving them,
in Blender.
snapping them, combining,
Now,
manipulating them with
I like to move
pinpoint
this
accuracy to
down
the exact frame and
a little
position
bit,
that you choose. You'll
so
also become familiar with how to
it
move
doesn't
around
it
the
doesn't
phone
talk
with
over
different
me,
buttons.
so you can kind of hear
You'll
that
have the
going
potential to
down.
get in the way and slow you
But that really doesn't matter because we're going to actually be deleting that, and I'll show you why here. Basically, it's if I expand this up. Now I can hide these if I right-click and do on each of them. I can do hide, and I can do hide. I don't know if you can still hear me on hide all. I think you probably can, but it doesn't actually delete them. And which it's kind of weird because I want them to match what's over here, and currently there's nothing over here. So for the default audio inputs. So I want to change that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add another mic and another desktop audio. So if I right click here, I can do right click add, or if you come over to the plus button, you go plus and add an audio input capture. And so I'm just going to do demo headset mic, enter, and you can rename that to whatever you want. Now I'm using a Playtronic C320. I got it at a discount computer store here. It's actually was like $5. But anyway, that's besides the point. Microphone from that, and then I'm just to say okay. And now you're probably hearing double. So I'm just going to go ahead and mute this one. And so now hopefully you can hear me just okay, or just right, or a-okay. Anyway, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do an audio output capture, which is going to be our desktop audio. I'm going to do demo desktop audio, enter, and then I'm going to leave that as default and hit OK. And so now you're going to be hearing double. So I'm going to disable or mute that one. And just double check again, make sure these are playing.
So what's all this going to look like?
Yeah,
Well,
so
in
that's
order to
fine. Yep,
teach you all
these
of
are
this,
both
I'm
playing
actually
just
going to show
fine.
you step by step.
So now we go to settings. Well, let's minimize Blender. Now we go to settings. Audio and desktop audio device. We're going to go to disabled, and we're going to select disabled here too. IT crowd, if you know what I'm quoting there. Disabled. I'm disabled. Okay, anyway, apply, and then boom, those should be gone. Okay, and the reason I do this again is because now I have my two microphones here, my audio, and I have two audio over here. So that way, if I hide it here, it hides it there, it hides it there. Okay, I'm going to bring the demo screen capture to the top because that's going to be our display. So there we go. And then those are the only three that I use. But if you wanted to do something like, you can add another, if you have another microphone, you can add, so I could potentially add another audio input and do like desktop or a laptop, since I'm working on a laptop, mic, and then add that in there too. I'm not going to do that. But another thing you can also do is, let's see here, video capture device. So this is going to be something like your webcam. So if I add in that, so demo webcam, and then boom, here I am in all the glory of being totally like disheveled and grossified because I haven't done anything today. I haven't dressed up or prettied myself at all for you. So this is me. But anyway, so when this is what's you're gonna see when it's pulled up. Now you can deactivate it or activate it here, and I'll get to that in a little bit here. But this is where you might want to configure your video. So if you click that, it'll pull this up over here, and I'll pull this down here. Let's see, where are we? We're on the top left there. Okay. So you should see that up over There. It's hard with the mirror because it's not mirrored, which is great, by the way. I don't like to see it mirrored. I want to see how you would see me. But anyway, so we're going to configure it. Now it's probably going to start like this. I was messing around with the configurations earlier, but this is the default setting, so you'll see this. And depending on where you are, the settings are going to be different, so you might want to play around with them. I'm just going to up the brightness here and up the contrast a little bit, just like that. And that's pretty much it. I don't need to really do anything else. You can play around with like the gamma and the sharpness and whatever if you want. So I'm just going to hit apply and OK. And then same thing down here if you want to change any of this, which I'm not going to. And there's always a defaults button to select change them all back to the defaults if you forget when you start messing around with things. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK, and you can see now there is me right here in the top left corner, and I can take it and drag it around however I want. And so you can see the red border around what is selected. Now, if I go to select my screen capture, you see there's no red border, and that's because I have it locked. So if I unlock that, now you can see that red border, and I can move that around as well. But I don't want to do that, so I'm going to lock that. And I do like, I select my webcam again. I do like the fact that it snaps to the edges and to the corners, which is nice. And you can resize it, so that's pretty cool. So down, just like that. Now, personally, I don't like this because, you know, when you're using Blender, I don't like having this over my Blender options, because then, you know, what if there's something down here you need, and then I have to move it and all that stuff. It's tedious. Plus, when you're working on Blender, you're wanting to, or at least watching a tutorial, you're wanting to see what I'm doing on my screen. Not, you know, I want to see my head just talking at you. So I don't, yeah, I don't like. I personally don't like it when people do that. It doesn't. I can get used to it, but that's why I don't have my little thing up here showing myself. Plus, I always cut. I cut the crap out of my videos because I'm always making mistakes, and so you would constantly see me just jumping around, which is not me. I don't jump during my videos, but you would constantly see the jump cuts. So anyway, one more thing just to note is that my screen capture is below my webcam. This works very similar in Blender, or as to in Blender. So if I move my webcam down, then the screen capture is above. It's just another layer that's above the webcam, which doesn't make any sense because then I can't see it. So you should always have your webcam on top. Now, if I hide this, it's still, you can't see it on the video, and you can't see it. But on my laptop, the webcam light is still green. And that is because it's still active. And so when you're hiding it, it's not necessarily, your computer or your webcam or whatever is probably still active, is probably still on. So in order to change that, you can do right-click properties, or just double-click it to go to your properties, and then you can hit deactivate. And then that gets rid of the activation, which is what normally happens when you hit deactivate on something. But I'm also going to just to hide it there because you can see that it has an audio input as well, which I'm not using anyway. So another thing you can do is color code them, which I like. So you can do something like this, set color, and it gives you some color options. You can also do a custom color, which is pretty stinking sweet. Okay, so let's do webcam, set color, and what did I have that as? Can't remember now. Webcam, we'll say green, I think. My screen capture I had as a little gray, and desktop audio I had as yellow, and then my headset mic I had as a purple. There we go, and you can now quickly see to hide or mess around with these or lock those or something like that. Just some fun options that you can have. Okay, so moving on, the settings that I use Again, these are going to be really quick because there's so many settings you can change. So going back to the settings, you can see up here, let's get rid of this blender back here. It's too distracting. Okay. So general, you can kind of look through this. I don't think I changed anything here. The only thing you might want to change is the theme. There it looks like there are several themes that you can go with, which is pretty cool. That's, oh, hey, look at that. That's pretty cool. Let's see here. Oh gosh, okay. Dark theme. It's pretty cool. Here's our default. Ooh, I like this one. Huh. You know what? I'm just going to keep it for that, like this for now. Okay, so then you've got your streaming options if you're streaming. I have not played around with that yet because I've not streamed anything. So output. Okay, so you have advanced mode here, and well, you're also supposed to have. Did that stop working? You're also supposed to have simple. Maybe that's. Well, maybe I should just change it back to default. Huh. I wonder why that's advanced. Maybe it's because it's not the default audio here. That's disabled. Huh. Well, if you click simple, then it gives you a lot fewer options. And so it's just kind of really simple, kind of more like in layman's terms, where you can say, hey, I want this medium quality or high quality or whatever. I don't like it like that anyway. So let's go back to that really cool theme. Okay, so then we go streaming. Don't need that. So recording is what I like to use. And then I, right now is my 30th tutorial. Woohoo! On in this series. 6 months later, what? 7 months later, still going. Maybe we'll finish by the end of 2019. No, seriously, this is gonna finish soon. Anyway, wow, getting off track. Okay, 30 screen capture. You can click browse and then browse to. Oh my gosh, why is this not working? I can't change any of that stuff. Why can't I change any of that? Boop. Yeah, okay, so I'm back and I'm an idiot. Of course I can't change these because I'm actually recording. So, yeah. So kudos to all of you who are not idiots who figured that out right away. Um, but I didn't. So let me just keep going through here. I use MP4 recording format. Again, it's a personal preference. You can test these out. I'm just showing you what I use. MP4 encoder X264 bitrate. I have constant bitrate with 4,000. Then we got CPU usage is fast. So that's what I use for my output. And then for audio, like I said, we looked at this already. We disabled the ones that we wanted. Now you don't have to do that too. If you want to keep the default and they work just fine for you, go for it. Okay, and then video. So I'm recording my tutorials on an external computer screen that I have hooked up to my laptop, and it's 1680 by 1050. So I just use whatever screen that is. Now you can, I believe that you can do window, just record your window, but I'd like to just record the screen. So, and I've had the most success with Lanxos. I don't know how to say that either. I apologize. English is not my strong suit, even though it's my mother tongue. I don't know how to pronounce a lot of different things, and I know I sound like an idiot, so you're welcome for the entertainment. Okay, wow, I'm rambling a lot today. Okay, 24 NTSC is what I use. You can choose your own frames per second here. Okay, going on, advanced. This is where I do my file naming formatting just to keep my file names in order. So this is my 30th tutorial. So we got screen capture, and then I use a little format here, which has just basically the year, the month, the day, and then the time. And if you want to know what these are or what to use, if you just hover your cursor over here, it brings down all your options. Now it only stays there for a few seconds and then it disappears. So you'll have to move your mouse and then move it back if you want to continue to look. But that's how you would format this here. Okay, so that is it for the settings. So hit apply and then okay. So that is it. Once you have your settings the way you want them, then all you have to do over here is hit start recording. And then it will start recording and it will be put into the output that you chose over here in your recording path. Now I'm recording. Now let's get the footage that we need for the recording. So going back to Blender, and let's see, what's the first one? So it's PowerPoint and Google, and then I think Pixabay actually is what I used. So I have that website pulled up, not that one, this one here. So here's Google Slides. This is when we're talking about the list of awesome. So what I did for my footage, so this is kind of like B-roll footage. So what I'm saying right now isn't going to be a part of the screencast in my tutorial or in my promo video. So basically, I'm just going to mess around, just kind of click around, click around, click around, click up, click down. I am sorry. I've had a half a bottle of Mountain Dew and some tea, and I got some good sleep last night, so I'm a little hyper, but and I also have ADD if you couldn't tell. So slides toolbox, let's just open that so we can have some footage of showing slides toolbox, and then maybe import, or no, export like we usually do, export, and then PNG, da do 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 do. Okay, well this is probably superfluous. Yeah, and it's taking way too long. Okay, yeah, okay, go away. Okay, so I think we've got enough of this. Let's go over to Pixabay. And then what I did was search for stupid, which I feel very stupid right now. And then scroll down and oh, look at that. Here's what I used here. Now you can pick any of these, of course, but I picked this one, so I'm just going to do that. And then we have this here. Maybe I'll show clicking on the free download link and then doing this and then download. Boom. Okay, I think that's good enough for this footage here. Okay, so what is the next footage that we need? So that is our screencast there, cut, zoom, screen, import sound. Okay, so for this, what I want to do is go to my original video here. I'm going to actually make a full copy of this and name it screen capture. And I'm actually just going to delete this audio. Wait, where is it? I'm going to copy. Make sure I'm copying that path correctly so I can go find it. Delete that audio. So we just have the original audio here. And then I'm going to go find it now. Okay, and I think it's this one right here. Drag this in here. And the reason I'm doing this, if you haven't figured it out, is because I'm already recording my screen for you for this tutorial. And so I'm just going to use this footage in our screencast. So let's grab on the Y. Oh. Just bring that up. Okay, draw a waveform. And basically I'm just doing exactly what I did when we started. I'm lining these up just like this. And make sure those are lined up.
2, 1.
Yeah. Except for I want to do it just before.
2, 1.
Okay, hide that.
2, 1.
Okay. I'm going to save it as another iteration. Iteration. And again, you don't have to match my iterations. Just reiterating that. Ha, pun intended. Okay. Where are we? Okay. So going back to our markings. So we've got our import for a screencast and the screen are editing. So basically, I'm just going to go and copy. Let's see. Let's copy blend 2. We'll copy, and we're just going to name this screencast 2. Okay. And we're just going to move stuff around because basically, what did I say here? So our markings,
SE for short. You will learn the best techniques for.
Oh, you know what I think I forgot to do also? I did. So our demo desktop audio
for quickly editing video
is really
and
loud.
audio.
So let's bring this down probably to about there. So you don't have to hear my voice double in stereo really loud. Okay. There you go. Okay. So that's basically what it is. Since I'm saying cutting, moving, snapping, blah, 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 I'm just going to just do some cutting, moving, snapping, and all of that stuff. Okay, so going back to our screencast 2. The reason I'm making copies of these, by the way, so that I don't actually mess up my blend scenes there. And so if I mess something up here, it doesn't matter. So let's just kind of cut some things here and snap them. So I don't need to do this, but I'm just going to do like this. We're like, doop, doop. Oh, we're going to cut there. Oh, look at that. Cut. We did a cut. And maybe I will grab this and move this way. Grab this and move this way. Select both of those. Go this way. Zoom in and zoom out. Let's adjust how fast our wipe goes in here. Look at that. And then let's see, cutting, snapping. Okay, let's do a snap somewhere. Well, oh hey, I know what we can do. Let's just put these at different links there. Put our timeline cursor there, select all of these, and then we'll do Shift S to snap. There we go. We've got that footage there. Let's select these and just kind of move that around. Oh. I'm totally messing this up, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to be deleting this anyway. All right, that might be all that we need to do. We can do a scrubbing. Ooh, let's do our wipeout here. Wipe out. And maybe our wipe in and wipe out there. Ooh, I know. We can do, I know this is probably way too much. No, I know this is way too much because we only need like 15 seconds of this. But that's okay. It gives us more options to choose from. So, alrighty. Cool. All right, I think that is going to be all. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to pause this recording or stop this recording and then start recording again so that we can use this as our footage to add into our next scene. So we'll get to that in the next video, so stay tuned.